Hello, future millionaires. This is Aztec and this is the CSC. Today we're going to go over a bunch of different projects that I've recently talked about. I did say that I'm going to start talking about more projects. I want to find gems. I want to talk about DeFi. I want to make a more comprehensive show for you guys. Now, again, as always, you can look in my channel art up here and see what I'm interested in. It doesn't mean that it's actively in my portfolio, but I am interested in it. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I've recently changed a couple of the projects that were in this art, so you got to check that out. I also recently hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm super excited. I think that 1,000 is kind of that like level that you just have to break before you really start growing. Before people start taking you more seriously. And I just want to say thank you guys for following. It seems like you guys are very bullish on the projects that I'm covering based off, the comments and things like that. If you want more or you want to see certain things, just let me know. I have to keep it real. I have to talk about projects that I'm very interested in, that I'm bullish on, but I'm always interested on hearing you guys' feedback. And I just want to say thank you for subscribing. Definitely subscribe if you haven't done so far. But anyways, yeah, today we're going to talk about Quickswap. We're going to talk about Matic, UniLend, Chromia. There's a bunch of little pieces of news that I just want to throw out there. This is kind of just like gathering a bunch of the videos that I've made recently and pulling it all together, tying it in together today. So I did also just tweet this recently. I said, today I went full-time crypto. I resigned from my other job and took the leap. I'm living proof that if you work hard enough and align yourself with the right mentors, that anyone can go full-time crypto and be successful. Thank you, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the Matic Network. So I have to say that those are the projects that have, basically made me who I am today. And also, on the second part of the tweet, I said I will be working within the industry, mainly in marketing, also in content creation as a vlogger. And of course, you have my YouTube channel here that I'm asking everyone to take a look at. But yeah, 1,000 subscribers, went full-time crypto, so some big things for me. And I'll probably do a giveaway soon, so stay tuned for that. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, because you're going to want to be part of the giveaway. Moving on, though, from me, I do want to talk about Chromia. Now, Binance just recently updated everyone and said Binance has completed the Ocean protocol and Chromia token swap. Binance has completed the Ocean and CHR token swaps and has reopened deposits and withdrawals for both tokens. So specifically here with CHR, there was the KuCoin hack. Now, Chromia, the project, was not hacked, but KuCoin, the exchange, was hacked. A large portion of the tokens that they went for were in Chromia. So CHR, it was very interesting that they were trying to snatch up some CHR, probably because they, who knows, are they trying to capture some of that while CHR is cheap? We don't know, but it is interesting to see that they captured so much of it. So, there was, new addresses that were created, and Binance and other exchanges had to fix these things. But this is huge because obviously Binance is one of the biggest, if not the biggest exchange out there, and they, they just let everyone know that deposits and withdrawals are now available for Chromia. So this is big. I think this has kind of pushed Chromia in a way, kind of caused some negativity just because of this. And it's kind of unfair because, the project, it really doesn't, all they can do is wait on, these exchanges to get things straight, because obviously the exchange was hacked in this case, and Binance was trying to sort out the technicals behind making the deposits and withdrawals open again. So anyways, that's Chromia. Moving on to Matic. This is really exciting to see. In this tweet it says, exciting news, Matic Network dApps are now listed on dApp Radar. Matic's ecosystem of dApps is expanding rapidly, and dApps are beginning to onboard to the mainnet in quick succession. You can now track Matic dApps statistics on dApp Radar. So if you don't know, dApp Radar basically is a site that's designated for different platforms, and you can click on those platforms, for instance like Matic, and you can see the dApps that are on the platform and how they're doing. You can see graph and basically a general overview of their users, and maybe the volume, the money that is going being taken out of these dApps. So it's actually really exciting because you really need this type of site so that you can track the progress of these dApps and also the entire Matic ecosystem. So this is really exciting. I'd recommend looking at it. I know that this information is just starting to pool together, and we really need to kind of give this a little bit more time because they're still updating the site. But in general, this is now going to be available going forward. So this is awesome to see. We really needed this. Now also, Quickswap recently put out an official guide here, and this guide here is MetaMask Matic Mainnet RPC setup and how to transfer assets from L1 and L2. These are probably one of the biggest questions that people get when they're trying to start using layer 2, the Matic Network DeFi projects or protocols. So this is really interesting. If you want to get started and get into DeFi, you want to go ahead and read through this. I also made a video recently. It's actually my last video. It's a tutorial on Quickswap. I kind of play with the DEX a little, and I go over basically how to transfer the tokens and a little bit about the RPC setup for the wallets and all of that. So definitely check out my video too if you haven't. It will definitely shed some light on how layer 2 works, and I do break it down in a very cohesive way so that you can also see, you can visualize how it all works. So check out my video if you haven't, and if you're interested in DeFi. I have to say, guys, DeFi is not dead. There's some big people that are trying to push a narrative that DeFi is dead, and in my opinion, it's not. It's definitely not, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But also, going forward, UniLend. Now, there's just so much going on with UniLend. If you don't know, UniLend is a permissionless decentralized protocol that combines spot trading and money markets with lending and borrowing services. Now, I did make a video about UniLend recently, and really they're going to compete with other layer 1 DeFi projects like Uniswap very heavily. I'm extremely excited for this project. There's a lot of hype behind the project, but also it's really warranted because they have the ability to compete with the number 1, which is Uniswap, just because they can outcompete them in different ways. And watch my video if you want to know what that's about. But some news about them recently. They are going through with a public sell, and it was 300 times oversubscribed, or nearly 300 times oversubscribed. That's huge. Now, obviously, we're past that initial part, and we've gotten to the spot where we're in the public distribution process, and this is taking place. Basically, if you went through the process, you subscribed, and you were whitelisted, now you're going through they're going through the process of being able to acquire their UFT tokens. So this is really big, guys, really big. So this just came out actually, and it does say, let's go ahead and read this here. It says, UniLend Finance Public Distribution Contribution Details. Thank you everyone for showing interest in the UniLend Finance Public Distribution Round. Our public distribution round will be at 2 p.m. UTC today. The contribution address will start accepting allocation contributions at exactly 2 p.m. UTC. So that is today. Gas limit settings. This is very important. You need to set the gas limit to 80,000 or higher. Default setting on MetaMask is 21,000. So you need to change that so that you can initiate. And it does say, successful contribution will receive 5,000 UFT public distribution tokens. So that is UFTP tokens, which will be locked to our exchange listing and can be swapped at a 1-to-1 ratio with UFT. So basically, they're going to be able to get their tokens, and this is huge, really huge for them, because they've been moving so fast. There's so many big players behind them. Like I've said recently, just recently today, Crypto Group is delighted to announce we have made a strategic investment in UniLend Finance, a permissionless decentralized protocol that combines spot trading and money markets with lending and borrowing services. So another big player has invested in UniLend. You guys have to see, they basically have a bunch of big players behind them. Surtech is basically announcing that they've successfully audited the UFT tokens smart contract. So this is huge because Surtech, if you look at this, we'll just go over this real quick. They are basically the world's leading formal verification service for correcting, basically making sure that the smart contracts are audited, correct, and safe, basically, for everyone. So their site basically says it's a little bit different, so it kind of threw me off for a second. But basically, they are really on the cutting edge. They're one of the best, if not the best, at auditing blockchain smart contracts. So this is awesome to see that Surtech actually audited the smart contracts. So that's really big. In general, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover on UniLend. Also, EasyFi, I've talked about them recently, another layer 2 DeFi project on Matic. They did announce, they say, Easy is now available on Uniswap protocol. Users can easily swap using Easy/USDC pool available for now. More pools and liquidity coming soon. So you're going to, for holding Easy, you're going to have other ways of farming and, utilizing different pools. And it looks like they might be saying that they're, getting ready to use, other possibly other DeFi protocols. So this is really interesting to see that layer 2 is taking off. You have Quickswap. There's a lot of information on Quickswap that I can't really cover just yet because things are in talks. I know that the developers are updating the analytics portion of the DEX's website, but then also you have them going to do probably some other really big things that I think the community will really be interested in. But also, have EasyFi over here making big moves and partnering with a lot of other projects. So layer 2 DeFi projects are really taking off. Liquidity is pouring in, and it might ebb and flow. But I think as people start realizing that if you're not a whale, you can use layer 2 and make gains and basically participate in DeFi and do well. So like on layer 1, there are some some things that are kind of restricting, let's say, the smaller guy in some cases. But it is interesting to see all the different things that are happening in the DeFi space. It's definitely not dead. Moving on to kind of explain why I don't think DeFi is dead. It says here, this is actually a tweet by this guy here, Hayden Adams, and he's saying, cool stat, apparently more ETH is sent on-chain to Uniswap pools per day than all SECs combined, so centralized exchanges combined. And if you look at what he's retweeting, which is Flipside Crypto's information, it does say, on the flip side, is it time to take DeFi seriously? Ethereum's on-chain data reveals that 300 million is sent daily to DeFi apps and DEXs versus 156 million to centralized exchanges. 70% of that, which is 211 million, is going to Uniswap protocol specifically. So in this little stat here, you can see here's Uniswap right here. You know, they are a huge portion of all of the Ethereum that's being moved around daily. And you can see, like, if you compare it to Binance's share and Coinbase, you know, these are the major exchanges that hold a lot of Ethereum, where a lot of Ethereum is moving in and out of. You know, these are centralized exchanges. Uniswap is decentralized. You know, you can see that there's a ton of ETH going to this DEX here, and you know, over here you have a very large portion of ETH, but these are basically just like general addresses, you know, not related to, you know, a centralized exchange or the decentralized exchange. So here you really see that DeFi is big, and especially with a lot of ETH moving in and out and staying within, you know, these decentralized exchanges, protocols. It's really interesting because to me, what it shows me, you know, from my opinion, is that DeFi is not dead, and a lot of money is going into DeFi, is still in DeFi because you know, there's a lot of opportunity still. So this is something I wanted to cover because I'm noticing a lot of big Twitter heads kind of coming out and saying, you know, DeFi is dead. For instance, CryptoWell here recently, now you can see here he has 43,000 followers, so he's a pretty big guy on Twitter. He recently, you know, basically was making fun of DeFi, and then he also posted this. He says, big players in crypto have pushed the same false narrative at every top in an attempt to swap their bags with noobs. Every month there's a new story they use to unload their bags, like the halving, Golden Cross, Grayscale, DeFi Surge, MicroStrategy, S2F model, banks bullish. Okay, I want to know what you guys think, because for me, I disagree. I don't think that these are, you know, just stories that are being put out there so that, you know, we get a pump and then, you know, wells are just selling off. You know, I don't think that at all, because you got to see, you know, MicroStrategy, what did they basically put into, you know, Bitcoin? I think within two different purchases, I think it was like over $300 million. You know, you have Square putting in, you know, $50 million recently, and this kind of thing is reported, you know, to the government, so that, you know, they can't play with this. This is not, you know, just, you know, some fake news. You know, this is real things that are happening. Huge companies are starting to buy Bitcoin, which is creating a lot of speculation. You know, a lot of money is moving out of Tether into the crypto markets because, and this is all my opinion, guys, based off, you know, what I believe. But this is my take, I have to say. So, you know, a lot of money is moving from Tether. I don't think that's just, you know, like Tether pumps, Tether injections, stimulus, you know, like he's suggesting. I think that this is truly, you know, actual speculation on this market, because, you know, big players are actually buying. I mean, this is verifiable. And, you know, none of this was, you know, some kind of, in my opinion, you know, some kind of narrative. You know, the halving, it truly was a halving. So, the Golden Cross, that's an actual thing. These are not narratives. These are things that actually happened and suggest certain things, and or are monumental achievements or happenings. So, we kind of went back and forth. I thought this was interesting. He was basically saying we aren't going to an all-time high. And I commented, I said, you're turning into one of the most pessimistic people on crypto Twitter. I'd really appreciate a more realistic and balanced approach. The elites are buying, not selling. Hedge funds are still investing. Big talking heads are buying weekly. So, there's like Jack Dorsey buying, last time we knew, he was buying $10,000 worth of Bitcoin weekly. And then there's all these other people within the crypto industry, big YouTubers and, other people that you see on Twitter that are saying that they're buying Bitcoin all the time. And he says, I'm pessimistic and I've been profitable from Bitcoin's bull run for almost a decade. I was an early adopter, got in early and made lots of money. Now is the worst time to be bullish. This will all tank with the stock market as I said it would in March. Now, I think that it's awesome that he was, an early. The March crash really happened because of, external factors, in my opinion. I think that, the market could have, taken a pullback and can take a pullback, because, overall markets, I'm talking about, world markets. But, I think in general that was mainly part of a scare because of COVID. Um, you know, and I did say a broken clock is always right twice a day. Of course, this market takes pullbacks, though I don't know how anyone can continuously be bearish on a space that is changing the world. You're like the guy that was bearish on computers in the 80s. And he says, I got into Bitcoin pre-2013 and was bullish for its entire run-up since 2017. We've been on a downtrend and making lower highs. You're like the guy that buys in late, then thinks tether injections, stimulus means real demand. And I said, no, I'm not that guy. I have real ties to the back end of crypto. I actually see who is buying. Not everything you see is market making, stimulus, and tether injections. If you believe this, then you don't have your finger on the pulse any longer. So I want to know what you guys think. Are you bullish? Are you bearish overall? Um, you know, Obviously you guys know that I'm bullish on the space. I'm bullish on DeFi. I think that there's a lot of verifiable proof that big people are buying. I just showed you some statistics of ETH pooling heavily into DeFi still. So, I don't think DeFi is dead, but I'd really like to know what you guys think. What do you think about layer 2 DeFi? How is your experience thus far? Let me know what you think. Overall, subscribe, get ready for, giveaway that's coming soon. Thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. Hope this was useful. Never give up on the future of money. Take it easy, guys.